when this kind of article drops, should worry Kathy Engelbert a great deal.
You won't believe what just happened to WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, because after months of silence, after ignoring players, dodging the media, and letting the refs do whatever the hell they wanted, karma just came knocking. And this time, it brought proofs. The day before yesterday, an explosive report came out. And that doesn't just call her out, it practically blames her for the fallout of Caitlin Clark's injury situation.
With a groin injury, and she just pulled up limping a little bit on this play. And this is so tough to watch, just the emotion.
But they are not in this case. In this case, they're calling out the WNBA and Kathy Engelbert.
And if you think this is just another social media uproar, oh no. This might be the moment the entire league turns on its commissioner. If you think it's high time that Kathy signs her resignation, write "resign, Kathy" in the comments below. So, let's start with what's new. Recently, Caitlin Clark, the biggest name the WNBA has seen in decades, was just pulled from All-Star action.
So, Caitlin Clark is officially out for the All-Star game.
And not for rest or any other family reason, no, because of a groin injury.
Yeah, she kind of pull up, a little bit of a jerk motion to stop her momentum.
Very painful one, I must say. And that's when the fingers started pointing. Of course, at the refs and team, but mostly at Kathy Engelbert. Because honestly, this didn't come out of nowhere. This has been building for days. Remember earlier this season when Caitlin was getting tossed around the court like it was WWE? Hard screens, blind hits, elbows that should have been text but weren't even whistled.
First quarter, Caitlin Clark obviously being fouled. The refs don't call.
Watch when Caitlin Clark is trying to create some space. It looked like she just got hit in the eye there.
Ooh, and Marina Mabry, I missed that one.
And yet, Kathy didn't say a word, not a single word, and people let it slide. Because it's the WNBA, right? But now, it is getting out of hands. Because now, the face of the league is limping. She is now missing marquee games. And this is something that can't go unnoticed. The Washington Post that put the internet on fire. So yes, Caitlin Clark was hurt again. And of course, the league was silent again. Fans were tired of yelling into a void, and players were quietly bruised. But just when it felt like things couldn't possibly get worse, the Washington Post did what the league refused to. They spoke up, loudly and bluntly. They released a full-fledged report that is more like an explosive expose, because honestly, it shattered the silence and shook the foundation of the WNBA to its core. WNBA officiating is no longer an annoyance. It's a threat to the game. That sentence alone is sharp and devastating. I mean, it did hit bone. And what followed was unfiltered rage, channeled into words that millions of fans had been screaming in fragments online, finally stitched into one painful, undeniable truth, and that is, the referees aren't just making mistakes, they're endangering the game. And then came the line that made us all gasp.
And how bad it is in this league. The WNBA should change its logo to a bruise.
The WNBA should change its logo to a bruise. I mean, it's not even a clever metaphor or exaggeration. It's a chillingly accurate reflection of what the league has become. They said, forget the silhouette of a woman rising gracefully for a shot. Just use Caitlin Clark's arm instead, purple and swollen, as the new face of the league. Or use Kelsey Plum's or Nafisa Collier's, because at this point, bruises are more consistent than calls.
Angel Reese, another casualty of this kickboxing league, is uncertain.
The Washington Post got brutally honest. It no longer felt like we were talking about basketball. We were talking about a battlefield and the players caught in the crossfire. The article didn't need to scream. It just whispered truths that were devastating. The next line goes like, the league's motto ought to be, No call. Now this is something that now haunts every Caitlin Clark fan, every coach on the sidelines, every young girl watching her idol get dropped and ignored. When Caitlin got kneed in the abdomen by J.C. Sheldon of the Connecticut Sun, she winced. She doubled over. And yet, there was no whistle, review, or call. Just a few nights before that, she was hooked, hammered, shoved across the court by Dallas defenders again and again and again, while the referees looked away like nothing had happened. Still, no call. And then, as if the universe wanted to put the league on trial in front of millions, came the national broadcast. Rebecca Lobo and Ryan Ruocco couldn't stay silent anymore. They called out the fouls that were crystal clear. Lobo said,
"The ball handler, there's a grab, there's a hold, there's another grab. I mean, all of those are fouls. Every single one of them. And here, that's a foul, and finally they call."
That's a foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. Every single one of them. It was the moment everything changed. Because when the commentators start sounding like angry fans, then you're past the tipping point.
It was brutally embarrassing for the league.
But the article didn't stop at outrage. It came proof and data. And that didn't just raise eyebrows. It dropped jaws. Since opening day, the WNBA has had 141 injuries. But you know what? There are only 179 active players in the league. Let that sink in. That means nearly 4 out of every 5 players have been injured in just one season. And not just twisted ankles or sore shoulders. We're talking about head trauma, groin injuries, serious knees, back spasms, and concussions.
By Seehafer's count, there have been 57 head and neck injuries.
The infamous kinesiologist Lucas Seehafer, who's been tracking injuries in the WNBA, revealed something even more alarming. He said that guards and small forwards, players like Clark, are suffering 100 more injuries than bigs. Why? Because they're faster and more explosive. They operate in tighter spaces. But now, they're being allowed to play in environments so violent, even the most athletic bodies are breaking. The league is breaking them. And the person watching it all happen is our very own commissioner. Cathy Engelbert is demonstrating all the firmness of a silk dress, while players sit in traction. Stars limp off court in tears, and coaches practically beg for fairness.
Especially for heralded rookies, but of course I want to see Caitlin treated fairly and appropriately in the league. I would say seems like she can take care of herself. She's a tough player. I think it may be lost on some people who are new to basketball in terms of a little bit of the controversy in the WNBA.
Cathy has said nothing. Not even one public press conference. Leave that, not even a single tweet. And for a commissioner who promised to grow the game and protect its future, her silence feels like betrayal. Because it's not just Clark. It's Aja, Elisa, Ryan, Sabrina, Collier, Kalia, Jonquel.
Linchpin who have missed significant time. So have Collier, Jonquel Jones, Sabrina Ionescu, Asia Wilson, Alyssa Thomas, Ryan Howard, and Kaylee Copper.
All of them have missed time this season. All of them are victims of a system that is letting rough play become the norm. This isn't just negligence. It's a crisis in slow motion. Even coach Stephanie White said the physicality with which teams are allowed to play, it adds up. Maybe not one blow, but over time, it breaks them. And maybe that's the scariest part. Because fans didn't come to the WNBA to watch women get punished for being great. They didn't come to see bruises become brands. They came to see skills, greatness, and sports, and yet, they aren't getting any. It's a WNBA crisis function, so while Cathy Engelbert is out here trading compliments about Valentino heels, her players are trading concussions, sprains, and bruised ribs, and nobody in charge seems to give a damn. And yet, the league keeps gaslighting us. They literally say, we can't blame physicality for the injuries. Really, Because Reddit's not buying it anymore. They have bold opinions, and they aren't shying away from sharing them. One person said, "Yeah, we keep hearing that we can't blame physicality on these injuries because we don't have a hard physical play at the exact time an injury is recognized. As this article points out, it's the accumulation of excessive physicality that takes its toll over time and leads to more injuries. When you're allowed to constantly impede movement with rough play on the guards who are quickly speeding up, slowing down, changing direction, etc., it is going to lead to more stress and strain on the joints, ligaments, and muscles in the legs. The fact that people are denying this is crazy. That's what the league refuses to admit. That when a guard spends 40 minutes getting her movement impeded, being pushed while changing direction, absorbing elbows while sprinting full speed, it's only a matter of time before something snaps. Then another person goes like, 100% I hate when they use Clark as the prime example, because people will discount it. This is a league problem, not just a Caitlyn problem. Exactly, and now even the mainstream media is turning. The Washington Post, which, by the way, was WNBA's longtime shield, is speaking up against it. And let's be honest, it's not even about injury stats anymore, though 141 injuries in one season should have been enough. It's about the message, the silence after every hit, the way referees swallow whistles like they're allergic, to accountability, the way leadership hides behind growth metrics while their stars are limping through halftime. So no, this isn't just about Caitlyn. It's about a league that's become hostile to its own future. It's about a commissioner who had the power to protect players, but didn't. And it's about a fan base that's finally wide awake. Because at this point, if you're still defending the officiating, then you're probably not watching the same league as the rest of us. But if you think it's high time that Kathy signs her resignation, write "Resign Kathy" in the comments below. And for all the latest WNBA drama and controversies, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one.